some awesome new graphics. Welcome to the Monday Morning Coach Show. I'm your host, Willie Snyder, and I am joined by my awesome co-host, Mr. King James Stalkup, over there in Big Sky Country, Texas. The looks like your old Longhorns didn't get the nod there for the playoffs, so
I'm gonna tell you what.
yeah, James Madison.
I tell you that is neither one of those teams should be in, honestly. And watching all of this, it's one thing Texas didn't get in based on the teams they beat that are ahead of them that are actually in. But the thing that amazes me, and anybody that thinks this is correct, Duke goes in, wins the ACC championship, and just so the ACC could have a representative in there, they took and moved Miami ahead of Notre Dame, and
Yeah.
Miami couldn't even get into their own freaking conference championship. A 5-loss team did. And
Yeah.
you and the week before you were saying Notre Dame had played better throughout the season, but now you're going to move Miami up. So what Notre Dame do? Notre Dame has decided we're not playing in a bowl game, and
That's so funny.
you know,
Oh man, Daniel, that's
this is
crushing.
I'm advocating for other teams on this too.
Yeah.
What that playoff selection committee did, they should be ashamed of themselves. They basically run college football because, Texas they're gonna play their next two against Ohio State and the next year at Michigan, and I don't blame them because they're having to come to our place and it's an economic boom. They're gonna make tons of money off of that
Yeah.
through the city and everything, and they should go ahead and play them because they went to their place and played them and went 1-1. So now you have to come to our place, and trust me, it's a lot different when you're playing at somebody's place. You know,
Yeah.
especially when you're going playing at Ohio State and Georgia, and that's two of your losses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I
So,
really think Notre Dame should have been in, and I think Texas should have been in.
well, hell,
You know.
well, let's go ahead and run the meme, and then we're
Okay.
going to get in and look and see how the bias of the Associated Press. Because other people, you go listen to these podcast stuff, they're even saying this is a bunch of crap
It
what
is.
they've done.
It is.
So let's go ahead and run this. And
All right.
I saw your meme, ha ha
Oh, dude, that was so funny. I always liked that one, like when it was like on the Adam Sandler was in Happy Gilmore, and he's like, "The price is wrong,
ha.
Bob." Like that was just so funny.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is funny. I'd never paid Dak Prescott that much money, but hey,
yeah,
but I'll give him credit. He's played good this year, but when he
yeah.
gets to the playoffs,
Well, I'll tell you what.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Denver's playing pretty good.
Broncos
They're barely
country.
winning these games, but they're winning. That's
Yeah,
all I can say.
the power rankings have them ranked at number one. I probably would have put the Patriots at number one, but like I say, we'll get into that later. But
Let's
we'll
run
see.
the college stuff, and
All right,
I can go over this because I got some things to say.
there you go. It's time for King James's.
And I'm going to say this: you want to put some respect on the team, put it on Indiana.
True.
I think they played fan-freaking-tastic. All right,
Yeah.
so let's take a look here. As of December, the best team resides in Denver. Oh, I'm not going to
Yeah.
disagree with that. Y'all playing freaking good, brother.
That's true.
You won't get any crap out of me. I call it like I see it, and they're playing freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Now, this is the one that gets me. How the hell, in your college playoff rankings could you ever think that BYU would be ahead of Texas and Vanderbilt? And I will say this:
True.
if they were playing a game, who do you think the betting money would be on? You think it'd be on BYU? Hell no. They would pick Texas over them, Vanderbilt. Hell, I'd even say they'd probably pick USC and Michigan over them.
True.
The parity in this is just, it's terrible. But as you look at that, let's see. Last week, we had Miami at number 12 and Notre Dame as at number 9.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's the AP. Okay, then all of a sudden, here come the college football rankings based on the bias Associated Press, who nobody should ever pay any attention to.
True.
Then, looky there, the Associated Press moved Miami up 1, 2, 3. 3 spot. Well, no, they actually, looking at it, they moved them up above BYU and Notre Dame.
Right.
So they went from 12 to 10. So they jumped up, and Notre Dame was at number 9.
Yeah.
And they didn't even play, and they dropped them down 2 spots.
Yeah.
Now, I brought this up last time when it happened. Georgia, up until the fourth quarter, they were beating Texas by 7, and Texas just fumbled everything from that point on. But it was a good game up to that point. And Alabama comes in and plays them. And now we get to put a 3-loss team in there that lost by 3 scores.
Yeah.
And if you look at the 3-loss teams, I'll guarantee you, if this was any other team other than Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, or one of those, and they lost that game by that much, they would have kicked them out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Guarantee
100%. Yeah.
They've proven this over and over through the years what they've done, and there is a bias on this committee. And
I gotta get the old music in for Daniel there. That's what it is.
And all you got to do is look at it, and look where they moved them. But and this is something that's going to be funny. I'm watching to see if I'm not right on this. Also, I'll bet you that the bowl game between Texas and Michigan is going to draw more viewership than these games that'll be played the first week. Tulane and Ole Miss and James Madison and Oregon. I'll bet you it draws better. And I'll bet that it draws pretty close. It might even exceed Miami and A&M and Alabama and Oklahoma. I bet you it's close to it.
Right. So is that being played on a neutral site, Texas and Michigan?
Yeah, it's going. What is it? The Citrus Bowl? I think it's in Florida.
Okay.
Isn't that correct?
Yeah, I think the Citrus Bowl's in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I was trying to remember.
I know the Orange Bowl's in Miami.
Well, the Orange Bowl. Well, yeah, I've always known that. I think if I'm not mistaken, the Citrus Bowl, I was trying to remember which city that's in. Where is that damn Citrus Bowl? Dang, I can't remember exactly where they play that thing. I know it's called the Cheese of Citrus. I think it's Orlando. I think they play it in Orlando.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think it's Orlando. So they're playing in the Citrus Cheese Bowl, and that's going to be December 31st. So,
okay.
And look at this. You had Notre Dame said they're not playing a bowl game, and then you also had Kansas State and Iowa State are not going to play. And then I heard that they asked a 5-loss team, which was Auburn, to play in one, and they declined.
Wow.
So basically, what a lot of people are looking at this, they're saying, why should we play in these bowl games? That's basically what they're saying. But looking at this next week, I would hypothetically have to say that Ole Miss is probably going to beat the hell out of Tulane.
Yeah.
And Oregon's definitely going to stomp James Madison. And James Madison, the only team that they played was any good this year was Louisville, and they got their butts whooped.
Right.
So, and when you look at this, they're not putting the best 12 teams in.
I agree. 100% agree.
There's
I don't see why Notre Dame got bumped. Like, like they're playing lights out, really good football, and I think that you have a really good point that when you start getting the draw on these, they're gonna start losing. They're gonna start losing their audience.
Screw talking about Texas. Notre Dame should be freaking furious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the week before, you got the committee there saying Notre Dame's playing better football. That's why we put them ahead of them. And then Duke wins ACC. Then all of a sudden, we got to move Miami up. That is that's. I just can't believe that you tell everybody this is your reasoning the week before, and then you come back and say, well, they lost head to head. You didn't consider that the week before.
Or like the first week of the season.
Yeah, and look what the ACC did. Did you see what the ACC did?
No, I don't think so.
On their channel, they were just running it over and over, the Miami Notre Dame game.
Oh.
And I think all their sports except football, maybe a couple others, they're tied in with the ACC. Now Notre Dame is pissed off at the ACC for running that game constantly like that.
Yeah.
So what's Notre Dame going to do? And Notre Dame's going to have a little bit of problem because one of the I did research before I came on here, and USC, they're wanting the Notre Dame game moved up earlier in the season. They don't want it at the end of the season because it hurts them at the end of the season if they lose. And Notre Dame ain't wanting to do it. And some people are saying USC may just cancel the game.
Wow.
Now, if this happens, Notre Dame's going to have to look at here possibly joining a conference because any big teams, because I can tell you right now, here in 3 years, Texas is going to knock them off of that. They're not going to be on Texas' schedule. And this is all because of the playoff bracket committee. They set the criteria, which we showed last week. Strength of schedule was their very first thing, then head-to-head and common opponents. And they completely disregarded their own criteria. And now they pretty much have told all teams, all we care about is what your record is. And if that's the case, do you think these big teams are going to be playing any big teams out of conference? Hell no, especially since the SEC's about to go to non-conference games.
Yeah.
So that leaves you 3 more games. You're going to play cream puffs to get ready for the season. You're not going to play, a Notre Dame or Ohio State, Michigan. And, I heard some guys say, well, if Texas is scared, I was like, scared? They're the only ones that were doing it. I mean, how can you say something like that about a team that was actually going out there playing the games, and then you penalize them for playing those type of games at the first of the season, and college football's making all this money and everything off of these games? Hell, I think that Ohio State Texas game was the number 1 watched game all season.
Yeah.
And now you basically are taking and you're telling these teams, oh, we don't care. We only care about your record. Well, You take Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, Michigan, uh, Alabama, A&M, Oregon. Just start naming down. Do you think they're going to schedule any big games during the season? Hell no, they're not, because they get penalized for it. But with that said, I think looking at this next week, I would say you're going to pencil in Oregon and Tech, and I don't think Tech's as good as what they're in the Big 12. I think Oregon has good defense. I think Oregon's going to beat Tech after this week. Then you got Alabama and Oklahoma. I think if Alabama doesn't turn the ball over, they're going to beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They should have beat them last time. But I don't think Alabama's going to beat Indiana. I think you need to put some respect on Indiana. Indiana, they're going to be tough to beat. They showed they got a damn good team. I was very impressed with that game.
Yeah. Yeah, they put their foot on the gas, and it was a really defensive battle in the beginning. And, for them to just come out, squeak by 3, it was just, the score really didn't show what actually happened in that game, I don't think.
Yeah, and when I look at this, I think Ole Miss is going to whoop Tulane, but I think they get to Georgia. They don't have their coach there, the offensive coordinator, their wide receiver coach.
Daniel.
I think, yeah, I agree. I think Georgia's going to beat Ole Miss. And then I'm picking an upset. Okay? I'm picking Miami to beat A&M.
Yeah.
I agree. Their defense is good, and they played hard. But I think when Miami, Texas A&M get to Ohio State, I don't think they're going to win. I think Ohio State's going to win. And then I think that Ohio State, Georgia, I'm not even sure who I would pick there. But I think Indiana's going to go all the way through to the championship. And then that Ohio State-Georgia game, that's going to be one of the biggest watch games, I think.
Yeah, I just don't understand how they get to this point where, they do this whole new thing, this whole new playoff thing, and it's supposed to get the 12 best teams in college. And then you get James Madison and Tulane somehow. Like, with no strength of schedule, exactly what you were saying last week. With they didn't have a strong strength of schedule. They didn't they didn't beat anybody head to head that was of significance. You look at who really beat the most teams was Texas. As far as the most ranked teams.
Well, it's like I said, they did not look at strength of schedule at all. It was all about wins and losses. And
True.
that takes me back to right here, BYU. The only team that they beat that's even ranked up there is Utah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your only win, and you lost to Texas Tech twice, and you got blew out. And you're going to put a BYU against Texas and Vanderbilt, who actually beat good teams. Hell, I'd say USC and Michigan should be ahead of them.
Yeah, and the thing that they were looking at too was Texas Tech winning by 2. I think they won. They beat all of them teams by like 20. I think is what they said.
Well, when I look at Texas Tech, okay, Texas Tech, and you look at the teams they played, okay, they put lots of points up. They did good, but if you actually look, who did they actually play? They played Utah, which was a decent team. They beat 34-10. And then they played BYU twice, which they put 7 points up in each game. I think the first one, they had 29 points. In the second game, Tech put up 34 on them. And the reason I bring that up is when they played a team that had a pretty good defense, they struggled. And if you look at their only loss this year, it was to Arizona State, and they lost 26-22.
Right.
I think when they go in and they play, I think they're going to end up playing Oregon. When they play Oregon, I think they're going to have trouble with Oregon.
Yeah.
I think, well, Oregon is they're getting back. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they got their receivers back that got hurt, and they still were playing pretty good. But Oregon, I think, they have a really, really good offense. And
True.
if you actually go back and look, they put up quite a few points this year. But I think Oregon has a really good defense. I don't think they're like the best defense out there or anything, but I think this will be the best defense that Texas Tech has faced all year.
True.
That's what I think, and I think I'm picking Oregon to go in there and beat Tech, but them and Indiana playing, that's going to be a good game too. I mean, there's going next week. There's going to be some good games.
So, how are they doing it? So they're not doing the bye this time?
No, there's no bye. Mm-mm.
Because
Well, you got your
wasn't
bye for the top 4 teams.
Wasn't that how they did it last year?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and there's some speculation. I think they're about to go to 16 teams.
Yeah?
I could be wrong, but
Well,
I think they're going to go
they're-
to 16.
If they're gonna put in James Madison and Tulane, then they better go to 16. Because
It's going to be
you never
interesting to
know.
see.
They could pull off some kind of surprise and play really good, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know that. I mean, we'll find out. You know, like if James Madison and Tulane just get their brakes blown off, then you know what I mean. Then we would have known that maybe Notre Dame or Texas would have been a better suit for that.
Yeah, we're going to have some good football this weekend. Miami and Texas A&M kick it off at 11. I personally think. Well, I take that back. I think doesn't Alabama and Oklahoma play?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be watching that Friday night. But
Right.
I'm picking my one upset, and I'm picking Miami to beat A&M. And I'll tell you, Oklahoma, I think you're going to have a little bit of problem with Alabama because I think they're going to come in pissed off after the ass whooping they took.
Yeah.
That's
Sure.
just my opinion. So we had 2 games a week. We had Georgia and Alabama, and we had the Indiana Hoosiers against Ohio State Buckeyes. And as you look at this game, Georgia dominated this game.
Right.
You can see the stats, but I'll tell you where the real stats come in. And I think this is the second time it's ever happened, but Alabama had a -3 rushing.
Wow.
Think about that. A -3, and you're going to tell me they should be in the playoffs?
Yeah.
I mean, really. And they had the ball 23 minutes and 8 seconds to 36 minutes and 52 seconds for Georgia. And when you look at this game, it's pretty easy to point out. Gunnar Stockton was 20-26, and he threw 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson, 19-39. He was running for his freaking life, and he had an interception. And then if you look, the only thing Alabama did a little bit was some receiving, and that was near the end because Georgia was just giving it to them.
Right.
And
Well, yeah, they're playing that prevent, just give them the underneath.
Yeah, and you look at the rushing. Georgia had 141 yards rushing and 156 yards passing, and then Alabama also had a fumble. So, but they didn't lose it, but they did have one interception in the game. And so you come over and look at it. It's very easy to tell. Georgia had 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. Alabama had 1 sack, 7 tackles for loss.
Right.
Big deal. That's all it was. And the interception Georgia had, they had it. That interception returned it for 30 yards.
Right.
Of course, that puts you where a great field position.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go in and look at the special teams. There ain't nothing major to look there, but there was, some punting and stuff going on, giving the ball up 3 in, 3 out. But pretty much Georgia, they just dominated that game.
Didn't Alabama score on their opening drive? Or because wasn't it didn't Alabama put up 7?
I think that's correct, and that's all they did.
They went down there and scored on their opening drive, and then that was it.
That was it. Didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
And then the Indiana and Ohio State, what a hell of a defensive game by both teams.
I didn't even know if anybody was even gonna score the whole game. It was crazy.
You want to talk about stats matching up? Both of them had 17 first downs. Okay. And then total yards, Indiana had 340, Ohio State had 322. The only big difference that was in this game was the rushing. Ohio State only had 58 yards, and Indiana had 118.
Wow.
I mean, that's something. And if you look at the turnovers, each one of them had a turnover, which was an interception. And if you look at the possession of time, Ohio State had it 30 minutes, 13 seconds. Indiana had it 29 minutes, 47 seconds. I mean, you would talk about as close as you can get. I mean, that's not even a full minute apart.
Yeah, those Hoosiers defense was amazing.
Mm-hmm. And when you look at this, I mean, this was really. As I was watching the game, what I was actually thinking, Indiana it looked like they gave everything they had this game. And their quarterback, Mendoza, he was gritty as hell. I'm going to give it to him. Their running backs, their receivers, I mean, same with Ohio State. There was some hitting going on in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I was like, holy crap, these guys ain't screwing around. So that gets you to the defensive battle. And if you look at this, Indiana had 5 sacks and 9 tackles for loss. And Ohio State only had 3 sacks and 4 tackles for loss.
Right.
I mean, that is just that shows you how good the Indiana defense played.
True.
I mean, they really did. I'm very impressed with Indiana. Matter of fact, I was so impressed with them, I'm picking them to win the NCAA championship. And when you look at this, nothing special coming out here. The only thing I'll say that killed Ohio State was that chip shot field goal near the end of the game that the kicker missed.
Right.
So I watched the whole game. I mean, I was fully amazed. I was immersed in it. And, hey, put some respect on Indiana. They earned it. They deserve it. And they're getting everything they deserve coming to them.
Yeah. 100%.
And that will get me through college week. Now, I'm going to take next week. I'll be covering some of this, but as soon as we get a little on the break, I might put some stuff in and do a team a week that are in the top 10 recruiting classes and go over their recruits and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, and we do want to kind of tie that into with fantasy predictions for our rookie draft for Dynasty.
Yep.
So that would be pretty cool. I forgot to do the Monday night prediction. We got Chargers Eagles tonight. I think I'm gonna take the Eagles. Chargers are leading right now.
I'm taking the Chargers.
They're leading right now 7-0. It's in L.A. So they do have their home advantage, but I think the Eagles are gonna squeak it out, and I kind of want to see the Eagles, knock the Chargers down. So it looks like Daniel's getting caught. Me and Daniel, we're gonna hold broskies this week.
Well, I want the Eagles to lose because Cowboys they lose this one and another one. Dallas has a chance of getting in.
Not gonna
if
happen.
they win out.
Not going down.
We'll see. You never know.
Yeah, So you're telling me there's a chance?
There's a chance.
But, yeah. No, it was really a amazing game. The Cowboys Lions. That was just that's Thursday game, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It was just amazing. I thought the Cowboys were just gonna claw their way back into that game, and then Detroit they just put Gibbs on that downhill running. Man, that was amazing. Gibbs just tore it up for me in fantasy. So
yeah, the defensive coordinator for Dallas, I just don't think he's any good to ever flew. So they need to get rid of him because they got some talent on that defense, and we'll see. I think they can win out the rest of their games, but it's all going to come down to what Philly does.
Yeah, it was pretty sad to see CD get knocked out. I don't know if you saw that, but it was even the announcers were saying something's wrong with his hand or something. He broke his hand or something, but he was just doing that because he was knocked out or whatever, and it was pretty crazy, to see that. But there's a chance he could clear concussion protocol for next week, so
we'll see because it was on a Thursday, so there's a good chance he could.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there, but like I say, we'll go into my NFL.
All right.
Now it's time for.
I got to get that all the way across. I forgot to do that.
Oh, it's all good. Okay.
All right.
So our game of the week. Are we gonna do power rankings first?
Yeah, I got your power rankings first.
All right. So, like I say, I kind of mentioned this at the beginning. This power ranking put Broncos at number 1. I don't know for sure. I say yeah, they deserve to be number 1, but it's kind of what we've talked about before, King James, about strength of schedule. And really, between the Broncos and the Patriots, they really haven't played any high teams like the Broncos lost to the Colts, and the Patriots lost. I can't remember who they lost to, but like I say, they really haven't had a really solid strength of schedule to judge this. But like I say, that would be just one heck of a playoff game between Broncos and Patriots, and so we'll see. But then you have the Los Angeles Rams, they're just playing amazing football, all kinds of fantasy assets going on there. Stafford just balling it up every week, and so we'll see. Losing to the Panthers on the road is not a good, look. But, Matt Stafford turned the ball over 3 times. That wasn't good. So, We'll see if that's their chinks in their armor, going down the stretch. Seattle's defense is just dominating. I really wished I had kept Seattle's defense on in fantasy, but I'm constantly rotating my defenses around. Sam Darnold is playing okay. And then, like I say, Jackson Smith-Njigba got back on the hot streak again. After last week, he only put up like 4 fantasy points, but he crushed it again this week. I think he got in the end zone twice, so that helped. Packers had just like an amazing game. That's our final countdown winner for this week, and they took the number 1 spot away from the
Chicago
Bears. Yeah, the Bears. Yeah, so the Bears came into that game at the number 1 spot, and the Pack took it back away. And like I say, Jordan Love, free agent against the Lions. He threw 4 touchdown passes, so we'll see. Like Jordan Love, if he gets hot, he could get hot going into the playoffs. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then Buffalo Bills they're just so unpredictable. Like it's weird. They're like so up and down. And I believe they got it done against the Steelers, but it's really hard going into the AFC. Like they're just a little bit shaky. Like I don't think that the Bills really have that good of a receiving core. So we'll see how that goes down the stretch, and they have improved on their run defense, and so we'll see if that helps them out coming up towards playoff time. The Bears, I mean, this is amazing. Like just even them being 9-4 is just amazing. They went in and took down the Eagles at home, which is an amazing feat in itself. Both running backs put up 100-yard days, but they didn't do that great against the Packers. But the thing about that game was there was just like so many controversial calls. I don't know if you saw that one, but the one of the Packers defensive players was coming back to the huddle, and the Bears wide receivers were standing in there, and he's like, "Get out of our huddle." And I guess the Bears, it was a rookie even too, went and put his hand on his throat, and then the other guy went and pushed it off, and they got 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. So it was just like some of those calls was like, dude, you don't put your hand on somebody's neck, dude. And so I thought that was kind of a little crappy. And there was some, like, dude, Parsons was getting held all night. Like, I don't think they missed so many holding calls on that game. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens going in the playoffs. San Francisco's sneaky. I just cannot believe that San Fran is sitting at 9-4. They had a bye this week, but for all the injuries that they've had to still be that high in the NFC West is just amazing. And like I say, the Seattle Seahawks, they have lost 3 of 4 games to fall out of first place, but they did just play a big one. So, it's to be on the road at Jacksonville. That's kind of rough. So we'll see how the Seahawks look. But dude, their defense is dominating. Like I think they had like 3 takeaways, and I think one of them they took to the house. So when you look at that, like that defense playing like that, it's going to be hard to beat. They say, defense wins championships. They could be in there. The Eagles playing tonight. They're going to have to get it going against the Chargers. They're down 7-3 currently. And then, they're the defending Super Bowl champions. And so you could definitely tell we actually predicted in fantasy that Saquon Barkley was going to have a little bit of a lull. And it's really funny because Tank Bigsby actually statistically has better stats than Saquon. So, it's pretty interesting. I mean, he hasn't really ran the ball much, but you got the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are have to be the number one ranked defense now. They've just been stuffing everybody, and they actually had. I did this on Game of the Week. I'll have a little audio to show you. Basically, the game ended on an interception, pretty much, and that was curtains for the Chiefs. And the Chiefs play really good in the Red Kingdom, over there. So I don't know. To me, they just did not get that crowd into the game, and when that crowd's not loud, then you pretty much make a team one dimensional there. And then the Jaguars leading the AFC South, which is incredible, and who did see that coming? I didn't. And they have a big game with the Colts, and it was amazing because there was just so many good things that happened. Jacoby Myers went in there, I think he caught 6 of 6 of passes, so he hasn't even missed one pass. So it's just stuff like that really helps him out. And getting their running game going, they got ETN going. And the sad part was that the Colts lost Daniel Jones, so that's going to be rough. A lot of people are riding on Daniel Jones in their fantasy, so we'll see how that goes. Then we have the Detroit Lions, which, they got back option Schneid again, against the Cowboys. And, like I say, it was just crazy how they just kind of took the momentum of that game and just... Because I literally thought the Cowboys were back in it. I mean, they went down, scored touchdown, and I was like, oh, man, here goes the Cowboys. And then next thing you know, the Lions come back to back, and it was pretty much over. Put 44 points on the Cowboys. It's not looking good. But you were kind of right about that. Cowboys secondary really needs help.
I do.
Then we have, the... Pittsburgh Steelers are still up in there. Like I say, Aaron Rodgers, pretty gritty veteran. He could, hang in there tough and get the Steelers. Like I say, they beat the Ravens, and every time Steelers Ravens, it's just a total gang fight. So we'll see how that plays out for them. I believe that they're currently leading that division in the AFC North. Then you have the Bucks. The Bucks always have a really good, they're just always up there, But Baker Mayfield's facing a shoulder injury, and so they had Bridgewater, but they played against Carolina. Carolina just beat the Rams, and, turning over, Matthew Stafford and, getting him out of his comfort zone was pretty cool. But, like I say, Carolina is going to have tough stretch down. They've really been, I think, doing a lot better in their pass defense. So they can kind of improve on that. Then the Falcons are 4-9. I don't see how they're still sitting in number 19 spot, but loss to the Jets pretty much ends any chance of them getting in the playoffs. But yeah, they are finished. And then the Dolphins, the Dolphins aren't dead yet. They made it interesting against the Saints, but like I say, we'll see how it goes. They've won 4 of their last 5, so that could help them out in the future. And like I say, we're getting to where these power rankings are probably going to start narrowing down a little bit, and I might even just start doing like the top 16, because like almost none of these teams in below 16 are going to have any chance of getting the playoffs. So I think Tampa could possibly, but like I say, so on our game of the week, let's see.
Texans and Chiefs.
Yeah, so Daniel said he posted a comment on a page saying NFC South is a poverty division, and I got 75,000 impressions and a bunch of angry comments. That's funny. Yeah, there's so much passion in the NFL, but this is how this went down. I think this is it.
Well,
the Bears and Rams win. We'll see how it all shakes out. Bears came into the.
I look at that also. Say the AFC North's the same way.
Yeah. So here's how it went down.
2nd and 10. Texans bring 4. Mahomes getting it out. Kelsey going to the run, and Alshire has the interception.
So
Kelsey had his
Kelsey
hands
got
on it
picked.
and basically hands it back to Alshire off his own helmet, who's there to make the play. And the season is being defined by miscues from the stars. I mean, Rashee Rice, Kelsey, Mahomes looking up off the ground, the decision by Andy Reid. I mean, all of that has played in.
3rd and 5 here. They have the extra lineman. Fisher in to block. Marks inside for the first down. Picked it up.
That's my guy, my Woody Marks.
And their offense did nothing again and gave up the interception off the hands of one of your star players.
Big stop here.
And he kicks the field goal.
Pressure, but Fairbairn pounds it through. And it's not over, but it's going to be a really tough road. No great.
Chiefs.
Oh, yes, it is over.
And the Houston Texans have come to Kansas City, knocked off the Chiefs to win their 5th consecutive game. And the run from Kansas City is not done, but it is down to a last gasp.
Yeah, it's pretty much done for KC.
Yeah,
But that's kind of how it all went down. So essentially, like Kelsey kind of bobbled a pass, and then the Texas defense, dude, I'll tell you what, man, they're playing like some of the best defense. They were getting in Mahomes' space. They were containing him. He wasn't able to run. There was a lot of good things that Texans did.
Yeah, when I looked at this game, one of the things that surprised me was it was actually the secondary that played really, really good. They did get in Mahomes' face. They had 2 sacks and 2 tackles for loss, but passes defended, they had 7 passes defended, and plus they had 3 interceptions.
Right.
The secondary was actually the difference in this game. You can go through and look at all the other stuff. Stats are all pretty much, they look equal, but it was those interceptions that caused the game, because Kansas City had 3 sacks and 6 tackles for loss, but that wasn't good enough.
Yeah, and I do agree with Daniel. The Bucks are always like winning that division with like 9, all the other teams. Yeah, like I agree. That's pretty bizarre how they ended up doing that.
Yeah, and there was nothing else that was spectacular on special teams or anything. Kansas City did miss 1 field goal. I mean, but that really wasn't the game. It really come down, in my opinion, was the secondary for the Texans that won that game.
Wasn't that a doink? Or didn't he doink it off the upright?
Yeah, the right upright. He doinked it off of there.
Yeah.
That actually happened.
Yeah. So it was a pretty good game of the week, and like I say, it's crazy when you see people like go into the Chiefs Red Kingdom and win. Like it would just like never happened like in the last like 6 years.
Yep.
So pretty cool. But we'll do a final countdown.
Yep, last thing.
All right, so this was a pretty good run by Josh Jacobs that got him in the end zone to pretty much seal the deal for this one. So here's the audio how it went down.
The Bears and Rams win. We'll see how it all shakes out. Bears came in today in the number 1 seed. 3rd and 1 Green Bay. Get to the outside. Jacobs. Can he get there? Swift. He breaks through. Josh Jacobs taken down by the 5 by Byard. 3rd and goal. It is Jacobs plowing up the middle. Josh Jacobs is in.
He's such a beast, man. Josh Jacobs, man.
McLeod is the unblocked player on the top of the screen, and it's McLeod, not a big corner, very physical, going up against.
So now the Bears got to do the 2-minute drill.
Action has some time and fires a dart and a completion to Burton. He makes a great spin move and he's in Green Bay territory just like that.
Actually, Bears are driving.
Senses, steps away, looking, fires, caught! Inside the 25! Oh my
Right in the
goodness,
red zone
Devin
now.
Duvernay.
Mm-hmm.
On the fake. Williams looking, throwing, it is intercepted! Keyshawn Nixon and the Packers will win it!
Hell of a football game. By the time it comes out, like I said,
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, that's how it goes. It just be one play here, a play there that just ends up costing you, the season. And
Right.
I wouldn't say it cost them the season, but it's going to start making it tough on them.
Yes, sir.
So
I don't know what happened to my camera.
there we go. Got it all fixed up. Oh, your camera's clicking in and out there, brother.
Yeah, I don't know what. Am I? Can you see me?
Mm-mm. Nope. Doesn't matter. That was the last thing. We're wrapping up. It's time to go watch some football and have something to eat. I'm hungry.
All right, sounds good. Go Eagles.
Don't say that. We need them to lose so Dallas can get in.
Right.
All right, everybody have a good week. We'll see some of y'all Thursday for the High Voltage Live podcast on electrical.
Yes, sir.